old mess. No, actually, it's quite a process for me because most everybody else is on the game for half a year. I'm on a game for at least a full year. So I start with the research phase and have tons of books. There's a huge stack on my desk right now for the next game. And then Nick and I start to really get together, come up with the story, the characters a little bit more of the plot, more of the mystery. From there, start to split out and tackle puzzles to try and get them integrated and whatnot. Create all the design docs on the wiki, and then that's about when everybody else starts to get involved. So throughout the rest of the process, I'm also in charge of environment logic, creating all that. Working with prod to make sure that I didn't screw up the logic, which is unfortunately fairly common still. But yeah, I mean, I'm hands-on the entire game from start to finish and beyond, because one of the last things when everybody else is finished is strategy guide. 2 games, actually kind of 3. We are still working on Goth, so right now prod is really starting to get in on the second half of building the environments, and so it's coming up soon where I'll start really being able to get in there and play around and make sure things are working as intended and that the logic is correct. We're still working on written assets for that game. Sound direction is coming up next for me, which is always a challenge. And working on 29 for locations and characters, general mystery. Plus, Nick and I have been toying with obviously 30 because the challenge winner, and 31. So we know where we're going for the next 3 games. It's actually the piecing of it all together. Because you have great ideas, and you have great characters, and you have fun puzzles, and then you have to figure out how to integrate it. And it's a little more challenging for us because we are not a fully linear game. So I can't always presume that the player will go in the path that we intend. And that's definitely the biggest challenge. Yeah, we want to give you guys, or we want there to be the feel that you're still in an open world and you're still driving the mystery. Although, obviously, we do have to direct you down some bottlenecks on occasion. But for the most part, I like to try to keep it open and so that the players can, it feels like a different experience if you go back and play it again, because you can go this route or you decide this time you're going to go this route. The characters are always kind of fun and different. So Nick and I together working on it, and he obviously, being the writer, comes up with the main story more than me. Obviously, I don't really have the story background. But we'll work together to make sure that the characters are kind of where we want them to be. And I tend to pay a little bit more attention to what the players would want a little bit more. Obviously, I'm kind of more in line with our target audience, having been one once, 10 to 14-year-old. So I'll try to make the characters a little more. I always push for flirty and fun because that's what's entertaining for a lot of people, me included.
I'm Dylan Carter, to answer the question you didn't ask, but probably meant to.
And I'm also in charge of the character design. So I will actually go and shop online for all sorts of clothes. Girls are still much more fun to shop for than the guys. And pick the outfits and the general looks and references that we give over to our character modeler, who will actually then bring those characters to life. And I'm usually in charge of naming the characters because Nick hates naming. I did too, initially. And I used to always, our previous writer would choose the names because I always hated it, but I've gotten better. And it's kind of fun now to, instead of having it be the tech girl, go and say, oh, that's Ryan. So, shout out the War's Edge, absolutely. And it's not because, well, I mean, there's a bias. Yeah, I was the designer on that one, but I think it represents the best of what we have, and it had, great story, great setting, great mystery, great spooks, really fun puzzles. I just love that game. Yeah, I do crazy and bizarre stuff all the time. I did flying trapeze recently in this last year. That was so much fun. Always wanted to try it. Let's see, obviously avid traveler, so I go around a lot. Snorkeling in the Great Barrier was really fun. We tried to go skydiving in New Zealand. We got grounded because of wind, but I still want to do skydiving someday. Let's see. Yeah, no, I did a lot of really random, bizarre things. You gotta have fun in life. Gangnam Style. And the reason being is because I get to dance. But at least it's more engaging and fun than Call Me Maybe, which I can't stand to listen to anymore. We've heard it so many times. Thriller. Because that's one of the weirder random things we do. Just did the Thriller zombie dance for Halloween. I hope people enjoy the new hit system now that we finally did it. It was a huge process, but hopefully that will help our players along. Obviously, you know, we're going to New Zealand, and I'm really looking forward to going there and wherever 29 is. Although I haven't been there personally, I need to go there.